10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
All right, you guys, we are charged up for this week's Fridays with Franco. We are out here at Bishop HQ in Lake Forest, California. Mr. Vescovi, how are you doing today?
Pretty good. It is Friday.
It is.
And Friday's always a good day because it's the end of the week. Anyhow, today we are launching our Bishop battery pack, long awaited. Some of you had the early access if you signed up for our SMS, which I would encourage all of you guys to sign up for the SMS, subscribe, get early access, get the information, all kinds of good stuff. So, are you... Okay. Got a little confused on
nope,
that.
We're good.
So, here it is. Drops today.
Ta-da!
Lots to talk about. We're going to be going over how to use this battery pack. We're going to be talking in general, not so much just about our Bishop battery pack, but battery packs in general. So I encourage you to ask all kinds of questions. There's a lot of people out there that have never used a battery pack. They don't understand why. They don't understand the hype. So in today's episode, we're going to really focus on why use a battery pack. Why use wireless? What's the benefits of it? What machines does it work best with? All that stuff. So get your questions ready. We're going to jump right into the Bishop battery pack.
But Franco, I think, don't we want to let the people know that we may be giving one away for today's...
Yeah. What good is a Friday video without a giveaway? So we will be giving away a Bishop battery pack today. At some point, we're going to ask a question. Whoever answers it first gets the battery pack. So that's always exciting. So stay tuned for that. Anyhow, gather your questions as we talk about the battery pack here today. We, as always, believe in creating the sexiest packaging ever. And, man, Casey, thank you. Good job. You killed it on the design. James, you killed it on the packaging, as usual. This thing is sexy.
It's sleek, man.
Part of my whole reason is I feel like if you have a good product, it has to be packaged as equal as the product. So let's crack it open here. Here we go. We have a quick little card in here that sort of breaks down, you know, what exactly it is, how to get it to work. It's very simple. It's very, very simple. So this is in each one. Then what we have here is the battery pack and the cord, USB-C. You can plug that into any base unit to charge. Charge time, we'll get into that. We'll answer all the questions here in a sec. Here we go. Here it is, the long-awaited, much anticipated Bishop B-Charged battery pack. Because if you're not wireless, you're missing out. So B-Charged. Let's talk a little bit about the features of this machine, or this battery pack here. It's 58 millimeters in height. It's 33 millimeters in diameter. A lot of people are surprised on how light it really is and how easy it is to really use on your machine. You get used to it very quickly. I think that I've heard some comments like, "Hey, how heavy it is? How does it feel? How is the balance?" Well, look, it's completely cylindrical. Okay, so it's a cylindrical design. Okay, so everything's on the top. So when you're tattooing with it, it works. It works just fine. It's a very easy to get used to. Not heavy. It's under 3 ounces. Let's get into some of the features. So we have a fully custom machined out of aluminum housing. Okay, and what that is here is this is a very robust power supply. When you see it, when you feel it, you're going to know that it's quality. You get into the screen, OLED glass display. Okay, let's turn it on here real quick. 1, 2, 3. So to turn it on, you'll hold it for 3 seconds. It's on. Now that light, it'll diminish here after a few seconds. What that is it's a power mechanism. It's a feature that, there we go, so it diminishes. So it allows your battery to last a little bit longer, which, you know, some of the power supplies, they don't do that. And what happens is you end up losing about 45 minutes of tattoo time just to keep that light on. So ours diminishes a little bit. But it stays on. Obviously, one of the best functions of our battery is intervals. So you can really, let me hold it up to the camera there. You could, get right in there, 7.4, 7.3, 7.2, 7.1. So all the way from 4 to 12. So you have full spectrum, full range, completely precision. And it's at that point, it's very simple. So people have asked if we're going to have a Footswitch. Now we're working on some stuff in our Gen 2 models, but let's talk about that for a second, because that's actually something that I sort of found a solution to. So you have a Footswitch. Let's talk a little bit about tattoo health. As always, it's my goal to give away some information, things I've picked up and learned in the last 27 years of tattooing. Let me talk about something for you youngsters out there. And what I mean by youngsters is people that have been tattooing for 5, 6, 7 years. You guys still have back health. I was out yesterday from back problems, and it's just 27 years of tattooing, 27 years of leaning forward. But more in particular, people don't realize when you're using a Footswitch, a lot of times your foot is just stuck in some awkward position as you lean forward. The classic one is like, it looks like a karate kick. Like your foot's way out on the Footswitch, you're tattooing someone's torso, and your feet are meant to stabilize your body. And I've had talks with chiropractors and stuff, and this sort of started to make sense. So I'm going to give you guys a really deep insight on back health and how to protect yourselves. Trust me, if you ask anyone that's been tattooing for more than 20 years, protect your backs now while you're young. Protect your wrists now that you're young, because when you get older, that shit hurts. Trust me. Footswitches lead to back problems a lot of times, because what happens is when you're tattooing without a Footswitch, both of your feet are completely stable on the ground and you're using your core. That's perfect tattooing. Footswitches knock that off. If anyone's talked to chiropractors, they'll tell you how important it is for your feet to be stable. Some people their left foot's a little taller by maybe even half an inch. That throws off their entire spine. So my goal is to move away from Footswitches. So with this feature here, the psychology of a Footswitch is an easy on and an easy off. That's the whole psychology. I think people are programmed to use it with their feet because it seems to be easier. But if you were to sacrifice your back health by using a Footswitch, you're going to lose in some way. What I've designed is a quick feature where all you do, you hit the button to turn it off and on. Now keep in mind, if you look, the screen still stays on. So a lot of the power supplies that are out there, they don't have this feature. You could simply turn it on and turn it off. You have to hold it for 3 seconds. You have to hold it for 3 seconds to turn it back off. They don't have this feature where you just hit it, boom. So very simple. When you're tattooing, I don't know if you've have seen people use this in action, but if I'm tattooing, okay, and let's just say I had a Footswitch. So if I'm tattooing and I have a Footswitch, very simple. I'm tattooing. Let's talk about some of the reasons why you would hit that Footswitch. Maybe someone comes in, they want to talk to you about something really quick. You hit the Footswitch, you talk to them, or you hit the Footswitch to see your phone. Many different reasons why you would utilize a Footswitch. And essentially, there's a reason for you to turn your power off and to stop tattooing to engage into some other thing for a few seconds or a few minutes. That's the psychology of why you would use a Footswitch. If we bring that psychology into this button here, it's very simple. If I'm tattooing, I turn it on. Someone comes in the room, turn it off. Now, let's think about this for a second. The amount of time it takes to tap the Footswitch on and tap it off, I'm achieving the same way. Let's call it a half a second. The difference is this. I get to fully use both of my feet to stabilize my body and my torso and my spine throughout the whole entire tattoo process, which is what we're supposed to be using anyways. That's what we're supposed to be doing. That was part of the reason why people started developing those toggle switches that you would plug into your power supply and you would hit the button on and off, right? So you didn't have to use a Footswitch. Now obviously it's kind of tricky because you have to wrap it up in plastic, reach across the table to do that. This is right here. So I'm tattooing, no I'm not. I'm tattooing, no I'm not. So because there's a lot of power supplies on the market, a lot of them coming from overseas, and they don't have this feature, they weren't designed for that. As a tattoo artist, I designed that feature in here. So this button, besides turning it on and off, it's designed to be a Footswitch simply by tapping it. So keep that in mind. Try it out. Anyone that's tried it out, they at first are like, what do you mean? I'm used to a Footswitch. I would love that. But once they try that, I've had nobody complain. Everyone's like, dude, this is the best thing ever. It's way easier. I mean, you're already using your hands anyways to tattoo, right? You're using your hands. So to turn it on, to turn it off, it's the same thing. Let's talk about another feature here. So we talked about the glass screen. So it's a glass screen. It's an OLED display, top of the line, top technology. We're utilizing a Tier 1 Lithium Ion Battery, the best there is, which means you're going to be talking about capacity. We'll have a capacity conversation in a second here. But let me talk about another feature here, okay? This is called the Jumpstart feature. So a lot of people that may use cartridges with stubborn membranes, and what I mean by stubborn membranes are the membranes that are really, really tension heavy. It's the rubber bands are thick, the membrane is thick, and a lot of times your machine won't start. I'm sure we've all been familiar with this problem in one way or another with some type of cartridges. So the Jumpstart feature, what it does is it jump starts to 11 volts for 0.2 seconds. So let me turn this off, okay? Now here's how the Jumpstart feature works. You tap the button twice and then you turn it on, okay? So, right? Now you see a lightning bolt in the top right corner, okay? Now that lightning bolt tells you that the Jumpstart feature is engaged. Now when you turn it on and turn it off, I don't know if you guys can hear that, but listen to it one more time. So it revs. So the first 0.2 seconds, it's at 11 volts, which is a powerful throw. It's a powerful jolt, powerful torque to the membrane. It's going to turn it on. So Jumpstart feature was a very important thing for us to have, just to kind of alleviate. So let's just run that back really quick here. Very simple. And again, one of the things that's cool about this battery pack, there's no gimmicks. There's never a gimmick design with Bishop products. Everything needs to be simple. There is no, turning it on, turning it off with your iPhone or your iPad. Forget that. This is tattooing, man. We're in a world where things have to work at the touch of your hands. Things have to work very simple. There is no gadgety stuff over here. So very simple. Look, hold it on, 3 seconds to turn it on. Hold it on, 3 seconds to turn it off. But let me tell you this. When you turn it on, this is another cool feature that we designed. When the battery pack is on and you go to put it down and you're done tattooing for the day, and you walk away, this battery pack turns off if there's no activity within, I think, 5 minutes. Okay, so within 5 minutes it'll turn off, and that was designed for all of us that we're so wrapped into the tattoo session that our minds are gone by the time we're finished. And who wants to return the next day to a drained battery? So you will not have that problem here with our battery pack at all. So again, let's go to the Jumpstart feature again. So Jumpstart feature, you simply quickly double check, turn it on, Jumpstart feature is engaged. And again, the lightning bolt at the top right corner tells you that you're in Jumpstart mode. I have people that leave this mode on all the time. So what that means is every single time they turn this on, that's the way they turn it on every single time. So that's kind of that part. Now let's talk about something. I want to educate you guys on what is a battery pack, right? What is a battery powered supply? It's a battery, lithium ion, and it's got some firmware. It's got some microchips. It's got a couple of different technologies that help distribute the power, the capacity, and whatnot. Display, buttons, etc. I won't bore you with that stuff. But what do you want to know? Well, we talk about cars. We talk about horsepower. How much horsepower does your Camaro have? How much power, right? So when it comes to batteries, right, we talk about how much gold does that weigh? Ounces? How many carats is that diamond? When it comes to a battery pack, what is the equivalent of that type of conversation? Well, it's simple. How much mAh does your battery have? What quality is your lithium ion battery? And I'll tell you why. If you go and you buy a cheap battery pack and it says that it has 1500 mAh, right, milliamp hours, okay, then you don't really know if it has 1500 milliamp hours. They just said it did. If it's a tier 2, tier 3 battery, which means they categorize these batteries, like Panasonic is a tier 1, could be a factory that no one's ever heard of, might be a tier 3. There's less regulation, so if they say there's 1500 mAh, there might not be 50, could be 800, right? So when we say ours has 1800 mAh, which is more than most people have, it has 1800 milliamp hours, not 17, not 16, not 15, and that's using a tier 1 battery, that's using a quality battery, quality lithium ion battery. So again, when it comes to battery packs, the question is how much mAh does yours come with? Now, is it a bad thing if it doesn't have 1800 mAh or 2000 mAh? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. The goal is to have the smallest battery pack. There's two goals. So people want the smallest battery pack and they want the most use time. They want it to last the longest. So there's a drawback, right? There's a drawback when it comes to that. You can't have one without the other. It's one of those things where it's if you want more power, you have to have a bigger battery. If the battery's bigger, then the battery pack's going to be bigger. So we are in development with making some smaller batteries that have smaller mAh, and that's for the people that don't really need a machine or a battery to last 12 hours. We get people that want it to last, they don't care. If it lasts 6 hours, that's fine. They just want a smaller unit. So we are going to be dropping some new products based on that. But again, just to let you know, milliamp hours, mAh, that's what you're going to be wanting to ask and find out. And then you're going to also want to find out if they're using a top quality tier 1 battery. Tier 2 is even good. Tier 3 I wouldn't mess with. Anything below that, it's going to be quality. It's not going to be quality. It's not going to be correct when it says what kind of mAh that it comes with. So quick announcement, y'all. We sold out of the battery packs. Crazy. We only had around 750 of them. They sold out quick. Thank you guys for that, by the way. We really appreciate that. I think 30 minutes they were gone.
Yeah, it was. I checked and it was, I think, 19 minutes. We were calling Gabe to find out, and you guys, thank you all at home for the support, and this really does mean a lot to us, and there's been a lot of anticipation going on for this battery pack. I know we've been working on it and some slight delays, but I know Franco's really proud to finally bring it to market for all of you guys at home.
Yeah, this was a fully developed battery. I mean, it took 2 years to develop. We had COVID. We have had tons of setbacks. A lot of parts, a lot of the electronics come from overseas for anything battery related or technology related. Most of it's made overseas, and we all know how crazy that was this last year. So it was tough getting parts, delays, 2-month delays, 3-month delays. But this battery is it's designed from head to toe. We just didn't, grab a battery pack out of China and just stamp our logo on it. That's not what we did. We developed 100% of this battery pack. You'll see nothing like it on the market. I don't even think I've seen a glass OLED screen display anywhere on a battery powered power supply, which is what I call this. This is not a battery pack. It's a power supply that happens to be battery powered. That's how developed this thing is. James, did we set aside a special allotment of battery packs for the fellas?
We did. Well, we did put them up on the website.
12 o'clock?
And they were gone.
Okay. Thank you guys. Yeah.
We do have, just to let you guys know, we do have a few down here at HQ. So if you want to stop by and visit the Vatican store down here at Bishop Rotary HQ in Lake Forest, we've got a couple left. So if you want to come on down, you may be one of those lucky people.
Call before you come just to make sure.
Please
if you're coming
do.
for just that.
Yes.
Yeah. So thank you guys again. This was a success. When are we going to get more? That's the first question that we are asked. We are in development right now with our second round. Hopefully March. I apologize for that delay. Nobody wants a second round faster than I do. Our distributors didn't even get any of these. That's how limited this quantity was. But stay tuned. We will have more soon, and I don't anticipate us running out after our second batch comes. But you never know. This is the future. Not just this battery pack, but battery-powered technology is the future. I mean, we all use electric toothbrushes, electric razors. Everything in the world is ran on batteries nowadays, it seems, even cars. So the future of tattooing will be wireless, and that kind of gets us into some of the benefits of going wireless in general. Freedom is power, right? That's our slogan with this battery pack. Freedom is power. Coming from a 27-year tattoo history, I've seen it all. I mean, I started off with homemade prison style machines, to coil, to 8-ounce, 9-ounce coil machines. With I remember back 15, 20 years ago, everybody wanted a thick cord, a thick clip cord. You're talking like metal tips, thick wire. I mean, besides the machine weighing 8 ounces, you had this drag of a thick cord. And I think back then everybody was just so young and had some health, and their wrists were strong, so no one thought of the future and what that would do to carpal tunnel, and as time goes on. But yeah, not being tethered to a cord, having that ultimate freedom, there's nothing like it. And I think that some people think, okay, well, I'm used to RCA cords, they've gotten much thinner, what's the big deal? Well, I'll tell you this much. Try it one time, because we've given this to old school dudes that have never came loose before from a cord in their life, and they're flipping. They're just like, this is crazy. Like, to not have to, I keep having this feeling that there's like some kind of cord, but it's not. And so the freedom, which is power, is great. To not have to worry about, and I'm really talking to people that haven't tried a battery pack in general, to not have to worry about being tethered down to a power station. I mean, you could work all around your client. You don't have to worry about anything. Way easier. And the cool thing about these batteries is, again, like, the tattoo world is late to a world and technology that's been around for 20, 30 years, right? I've been brushing my teeth with a battery powered toothbrush for probably the last 20 years. Yet here we are as one of the leaders in the tattoo machine space, and we're just barely getting around to it, along with the others that are out there. So why do I say all this? Well, because y'all ain't seen nothing yet. So wait till the technology becomes better. The lithium ion technology is changing every 3 months. Some of the things we're waiting for is different technologies other than lithium ion, and the size and the amount of power, the amount of capacity that these things are going to have. It could be just a matter of years that you're tattooing with a wireless machine that is not much bigger than your current machine. So what we can promise from Bishop is we will be staying on top of this cutting edge technology. We have access to the factories and to the engineers that have these technologies. We're working with them very closely. I'm very lucky to be working directly with Critical Power Supply, which is, as we know, is the leader in power supplies, whether it's wireless or regular. And I've been great friends with the owner for a long time, and we're using some of the same engineers. So we are going to be coming out with some really cool stuff coming up soon. Smaller, big capacities. So stay tuned. Also too, another cool thing about wireless is it's a little bit easier to be sanitary. I know a lot of people have complained over the years, and even myself, when you're using cords, depending on the area of the body, that cord can kind of touch the blood and touch the tattoo area, and you're sort of stuck with like, crap, now I have to clean it off, So having just that wireless technology, and I'll show you here in a minute how we wrap it, it's a game changer for sure. So let's get into a couple questions while I grab a RCA cord bag and talk about some tips on how to wrap it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't even know where to start other than, well, we got a bunch of people that are just really excited. They got theirs. But we do have some people asking now. They see that this is, it looks like it's for the wand. Are we going to make a battery pack for the Phantom?
Yes, so we are in development for making a battery pack for the Phantom, for the Michelangelo. Probably not the V6, because that's more of a bigger machine anyways, and that's kind of a machine that people just freshly coming off of coils will use. Okay. So yeah, stay tuned for that. So let me quickly show you guys. This is kind of something I came up with here. Very simple. Everything's about simplicity. Okay, so look, check this out. So you got the battery pack. Now these are traditional RCA cord bags. What I did was I took the one, the original one is about 6 times its length. So I'm able to make about 6 of these per one bag. Okay, So you want this to be about 6 inches, okay? Now here's what you do. You slide your bag in here. You put your machine on. Now, if you're one of those people that uses a disposable grips like I do, does not get any easier than this, you guys. Okay. So once you put this on, oops, give me 1 second here. Okay, so once you put this on, look, check this out. So you have your disposable grip. Your bag is completely covering the machine and the battery pack. And then what you'll do is, I don't have any tape with me, but you'll tape this over. Okay, you'll tape that over too on the sides. You'll wrap it on the sides so that when you're touching the top, it's completely enclosed in a bag. And of course, you know, when you're tattooing, you know, you can touch the buttons on and off, whatever, completely protected, right? Then when you're done, obviously you guys know, but hey, there's people out there that don't know. So proper methods of taking this apart, okay, would be to unscrew the grip. Don't touch that machine. Obviously you're putting this machine on a clean area. And you throw this away along with your gloves. Put a brand new pair of gloves on to do the rest. Never touching the machine or the battery pack with a contaminated glove. Come on, it doesn't get any easier than that right there. So look, one clip cord, one RCA clip cord bag, you could make 6 of these. So you want to do it average about 6 to 7 inches, depending on how much overlap you want. But yeah, that's the simplicity of it. And let's get into some questions, James.
Yeah, I've got couple right here. Let me see. Dorian Purchase asked, can you overcharge the battery and kill it in any way, or can you overcharge it at night?
So it does have some power features, some protection features on it, which kind of help from that, just like cell phones do and other things. So you can charge it and it's not going to kill the battery at all. It's got some cutoff features in the firmware, so don't worry about that. When it's 100% charged, just pop it off as soon as you can. If it is overnight, it's all good. But the whole reason why we went with 1800 mAh is we have yet to find one person to not be able to tattoo a full day with this machine, with this battery pack. So essentially, you know, you can tattoo all day, plug it in, charge it all night. It only takes 1.5 hours to fully charge, so I will say that. So when you get this battery pack, they don't come full charge. You guys are probably familiar. Most battery powered things don't come full charge. There's lots of regulations with air safety in terms of a fully charged battery. So what you'll do is you'll use it till it drains. You'll charge it. Okay, you'll charge it. Tom, let's flip the camera on you real quick.
Yeah.
So this is kind of a cool little hack really quick. So Tom used to be, tell him what you used to do with Apple and talk a little bit about the battery, what they had suggested.
Yeah, so I used to work at the Genius Bar at an Apple store, and I saw iPhones constantly, and lithium ion cells are, they're kind of one of those things where they do, it's like a muscle, so it does need to be exercised, like kind of like your muscles. If you don't use it, your muscles will weaken. If you do use it too much, it'll overuse your muscle, and it'll just kind of deteriorate on the overall life. So generally, when you first get your even like a phone, you use it until it gets down to about 5%. Let it kind of do its thing. Plug it in, let it charge to 100%, and then basically do that for about 3 times. And then your battery will actually be a lot healthier because of it. So cycling the battery, as we were talking earlier, cycling the battery for the first few times is recommended, but lithium ion cells are great for this. So yeah, nice little tip.
And that's a cool tip for sure, man. Thanks for that, Tom. Tom works with us, and he happens to be an Apple genius. So when we have problems with our Macintosh computers, do people even call it Macintosh anymore?
Yeah,
Shit.
yeah.
We call Uncle Tom, and he comes to the rescue. My phone's tripping, Tom. I need you. So that's a cool little tip with lithium ion. If that's something that Apple utilizes, then why can't we? So, yeah, lithium ion batteries. you do want to kind of do these things to get the maximum life out of them. But again, a tier 1 battery is going to be really good in that regard. So, James, any more questions?
I got plenty of questions
Okay.
for you. Our friend Rebecca Hoodless, how you doing, Bex? I bought my wands due to having carpal tunnel post surgery. Now, how is the weight distribution with the battery added weight with leverage?
So, okay, that's a great question. Everything's leverage, right? Right? Mathematics, leverage. If this battery was tilted like this, right? If it was tilted like that, then there would be more leverage on the back end, and what that would do and what that would create would be less balance. And what less balance would create would be more wear and tear on the wrist as you're trying to compensate from that back weight. The cool thing about cylindrical machines like this, okay, is, and to answer your question, Rebecca, is if you look at the machine like that, you see, it's all completely cylindrical, it's completely vertical. So when you're tattooing, all the weight is going down from the top of this to the bottom of the skin, right? Some people prefer a little bit more weight because it makes the ink go in the skin a little bit faster, quicker saturation, hence the stainless steel terminology and that whole theory of people wanting stainless steel grips to give more weight. So I've had people go, you know what, I've loved the wand, I love the wand, but now with the battery pack, I actually like it more. It seems to like even saturate quicker. And that's just, and it's only 3 ounces, which is not a lot. But it does seem to help out with people that want a little bit more weight. But yeah, Rebecca, when you're tattooing with this, because it's all vertical, you're not really noticing or picking up the difference in that 3 ounces. You'd be surprised. A lot of people say they can't really feel the difference. And it's true. So once you try it out, and that's a good question too that parlays into another question that I don't know if has been asked, but I will tell. People say, can I use this machine on a different machine? Casey, will you grab me that sexy ass Phantom over there? That Louis Vuitton Phantom right there? Yeah. Okay. So this is a good question. Let me damn, this is a cutie pie. Okay. One of my personal stashes right here. So people have asked, can I use this battery on a different machine? You don't really want to do that. I've had people use it on the Phantom, right? And you could, especially if you have some manly hands, you could do that, but it's not recommended. And obviously, if you could imagine it plugged into a V6 or a Michelangelo, that thing would be hanging out this long. It could potentially wear out the connection. But just using this Phantom to really illustrate, you could use it. It would work on any machine, but you don't really want to. We'll just stay tuned for the battery packs that we're going to come out with that will be specifically for those machines.
Okay, let's see. We've got Stefan Oberg asking, this is awesome. How much is it with the rest of the production? Do you guys have anything else up your sleeves?
Ooh. We have a couple things up our sleeve. We're actually we're working on some stuff that has never been done before.
Some you can't talk about.
I can't even talk about it. James is like protecting me on
Come
that.
on.
We have some patented technologies that are blowaway. Let's just say a Footswitch would be a thing of the past for those that still use them or still have a desire to use them. Can't say any more. Patented technology, inventions that we've done along with some friends of ours. We have that we're working on. We have we are working on the Bishop Wand fully integrated battery powered machine. That will probably be released before summer, maybe beginning of summer, somewhere around there. So stay tuned for that. And yeah, we're working on a couple of things. Yeah.
Okay.
Some I can't even hint about.
No.
Because some of y'all are smart.
Just
figure it out and shit.
Let's just change topics right now.
Yes. Next question.
Let's just save ourselves from putting the foot in the mouth. All right, our friend Archangel Villanueva is asking, how is the power affect the voltage as far as the hit? Like, let's say less than 20%?
Gosh, I'm trying to understand that question.
That's what I'm yeah. Let me see.
Yeah, if you're still on,
Is it still hit? Well, I guess is there any bog down?
Because of the battery pack.
Yes.
It's true voltage. So 8 volts is 8 volts. It's all about the capacity in the battery, right? And so how that is the mAh, the milliamp hours, the power It's true voltage, so it's going to work. We've had people say it works just the same as a regular power unit. So, yeah, give it a shot. See what
All
you
right.
think.
Our friend John Martinez is asking, are there going to be any limited edition B-charged wireless power?
If anyone knows Bishop, we are the innovators of limited edition machines, limited crazy stuff too. Yeah, at some point we are going to be coming out with different colorways, maybe some collaborations. Should we collaborate with Tesla? That'd be kind of fun.
That would be awesome.
Like a Tesla, that would be cool. Well, let's check into that. Let's check into that.
I mean,
Call
you
Elon.
Yes, call Elon on the
you
hip.
were playing with his, not a flamethrower.
One fun factoid about my life is I shot Elon Musk's flamethrower at my buddy Risk's house. Risky, graffiti legend. So you were there for that.
That was
James.
awesome. Yeah, I got videos of it.
Yeah. DM us if you want to see the videos. Me and Elon Musk power fire breather.
Could you imagine back when you were at Ink House having wireless power supplies back then, and having like just how would that have changed the environment back in that time period?
So what I said earlier about people, us using wireless toothbrushes and wireless shavers, even 20 years ago, we used to before I was ever making machines, it was like, God, I wish somebody would make a powerless tattoo machine. I don't understand. There's wireless drills and wireless this and that. Like what? So it was always a desire. This isn't something that people didn't think about. Like for years, people just would wait for it to come one day. And yeah, my thought is I would have never thought that we would be one of the ones to be doing that. That this, of course, before we even came out with Bishop. But now that I'm fully involved in wireless technology, people don't realize. Let me speak on being a tattoo artist and developing tattoo machines and tattoo products. I don't think you guys really realize the benefit of that. I mean, look, I'm a picky bastard, right? Like, if it goes into your hands, it's past my test. It's past my tattoo artists that work over at the Vatican. It's past their test. My brother Carlos Torres, who's my business partner, it's got to pass his test, and he's very picky too. So, it's like, to be able to get these products out there, it's ran the full gamut of hardcore eyes, hardcore hands, people like me that tattoo for a living. Look, I don't make everything for you guys. I don't. I'd be lying if I said I make all my products for you guys. I don't do that. That was never the intention of Bishop in its first place. The first time I made a Bishop tattoo machine was for me. It was because I wanted a machine that was better than anything I've ever tried. Every product I make is for me to use while I'm tattooing. If it passes my test and I like it, I can sleep at night because I know you guys will like it. So I make it for me first, and then it's for you.
Got a great question actually from our friend Muso Fumano. Sorry about that, I apologize, Muso. But he was actually lucky enough to grab one and wants to thank us for being on the Bishop VIP list. So you guys, make sure you sign up for that SMS list. There's always an opportunity to get in first on any of our products when we make the launch.
Yeah.
But he had a cheap battery pack that he's been using, and the voltage reading was always way off.
Yeah.
How true is the voltage reading compared to a traditional power supply?
So it's and some of the cheaper ones, like if it says 7 or 8 volts, it's not really 7 or 8 volts. It could be drawing. Usually the rule of thumb is it's about 1 volt less, right? So the cheaper battery packs, it's like if it says 8 volts, it's probably pushing 7. And that's just because it's made very cheap. It's not really accurately drawing the power and registering the power, the voltage. So ours is very accurate. When you talk about like a power unit that you plug into the wall, that's like the most accuracy because there's no reservations there. It's just coming from the wall, as much power and more than you'll ever need to a regulator, and so that's kind of been the challenge for anyone making a battery pack, is how do you get precise power and precise voltage. So we feel we've accomplished that with ours, especially compared to some of the cheaper ones that are out there for 30 or 40 bucks, that they end up just, it's funny because people are buying 3 or 4 of them, within a couple months and throwing them away, when they realize they don't really work. So yeah, you get what you pay for, that's for sure.
Actually got a great question I just thought of right now. I noticed how, when battery packs were first coming out, they had presets. What was it that made you decide that you wanted to change things nominally, like being able to adjust your voltage?
That's the result of me being a tattoo artist, right? So when we develop products, I'm looking at it from a first-hand perspective as a tattooer. What do I want, right? What's the best for me as a tattoo artist? And look, I'm a weird guy. I specifically like 7.4, right? When I'm doing lines, depending on what machine I'm using, I might want 8.5 or 8.6. And a lot of you guys are out there are the same. So when you're using a preset like 6, 6.5, 7, 7.5, or there's other ones that are like 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, that's like a full voltage jump, it's really not ideal, and it's not really what you're used to in terms of your hand speed. So you get people that complain about that, like, man, I don't like the idea of going from 7 to 8 and 8 to 9. Like, I like the in-betweens. So my first thought is we can't make a battery powered power supply unless it's got pure, perfect, each single digit nominal voltage precision. You have to be able to go from 0.1 to 0.9, and that was really something that I wanted, and I felt that most people are used to that anyways with your average power supply, like a critical, or it has that, so everyone's already used to that psychology. I didn't want to change that on anybody. So this works a lot like a regular power supply. You turn it on, you turn it off. You can manually set the voltage to each decimal.
Let's see, our friend Remco Gazan was asking, can a bad battery pack in any way kill your machine?
So if you're using a brushless motor, it can. If you're using a brushed motor, brush motors are very archaic and simple. It's positive, negative energy, magnetics, spinning an iron core, or to simplify it, it's very hard to ruin a brush motor. Now, brushless, on the other hand, you're talking about like firmware and like technology that's based on having the wrong draw and the wrong amperage and jolts like that could fry. I've seen that before for sure on brushless motors. And the wand, the liner wand and the packer wand use a brushless motor. I know that the couple other brands out there use a brushless motor as well. So that's for sure a reason to get a quality battery pack. Definitely on a brushless motor.
Okay, our friend Karina Badillo is asking, will there be a charging dock station for these similar to the critical units?
Yeah, we are thinking about coming out with a charging dock at some point. It's one of those things where it's cool, it's cool. It's definitely cool. A charging dock is definitely cool. But at the same time, like, it's cool if you have it. Like for critical, I give them tremendous kudos. Like, they have it, so it's really cool, right? But also, it's just as easy as plugging it in, just the same. So, you plug it in and charge it. I think what's kind of cool about the charging docks, though, is they're stationary, right? So there's that factor. So yeah, maybe at some point we'll design the battery pack charging station. I think for us, we just wanted to get this designed and out to you guys, because I know you guys have been patient and waiting for a long time for this. So one thing at a time.
Yeah. On a different note, our buddy Adam Strong is asking, are we going to develop a stainless steel grip for the wand?
Yeah, that's actually in development as we speak. Yep. Stainless steel grips. Yeah, I might be using those myself.
Got a little shout out from
that's my jam.
There we go. Got a little shout out from our friend Stefan Ober. Says, just got to tell you guys, your rep Julio on the phone is top notch. Service is always the best.
Look,
out there.
you guys, I want you to know, I got a call yesterday from a distributor, and they were giving us credit. They're like, man, your guys' customer service is so spot on. We get tons of people complaining about some of the other guys not caring, not being able to be on the phone, and I want you guys to know that our customer service is probably top in the industry. I could brag about that. The reason why I could brag about that is because we've developed that over the past 5 years. There was a time when we were so busy making machines and so busy just trying to catch up with orders that we didn't focus on customer service. And it was never terrible, but it wasn't as what it was now. And for the past 5 years, we've hired many people just to take care of customer service. We educate our customer service reps to speak the language. All of our guys are heavily tatted. They understand the business. We really do focus on our customer service, and I want you guys to know that's what separates us from anything else out there. Is when you buy a Bishop product or a Bishop machine, you guys already know we're going to take care of you no matter what. You ever have an issue? Look, nothing's perfect. I want you guys to know that too. Could there be a bad battery out there here and there? Yeah, we've seen it. When you're making thousands of parts, there could be a problem here and there. In general, it's very low for us, but when it happens, we take care of them right away. So you guys already know. Those have dealt with us before, but just want to stress, when you buy a Bishop product, you're actually getting the product for free. What you're really paying for is the customer service.
Absolutely. Actually, this may be a question for Tom, our Apple genius. Alex Mesa's asking, is it bad to charge if it's not fully drained?
It's kind of goes back to kind of that theory of a muscle. You don't want it to get in the habit of charging it halfway, because it'll kind of, over the lifespan of the battery, it will kind of drain the battery of its kind of like that juice, that charge.
That life force that it comes with.
Right, and it won't ever get to 100% again if you're constantly charging it at 50. Same with your phone, same with a lot of stuff like that. So yeah, I would let it get down to a good habit is like 10%. Like if he gets down to about 10%, throw it on the charger.
Yeah, that is a good question and a good answer for sure. I mean, these things are only like the lithium ion. It only comes with a certain amount of I'll call it like jing, like a life force.
Yeah.
And so once that's gone, it's gone forever. Like rechargeable batteries don't last forever. We all know that. It's just a matter of how do you maximize that, right? So yeah, listen to what Tom is saying. Just don't charge this thing unless it's, because we get people out there that might charge it when it's 50%. There's really no need to. Like, why would you do that? Just use it till it's done. And if you're one of those people that spaces out a lot and you don't really time your tattoo session from your charge time, then get 2 of them. That could be the remedy. Because I get it. Like, you're at 40% and someone's coming in for a 7-hour tattoo, and you want to charge it a little bit before they get there so you could maximize that whole session. Look, just get another one to be on standby. It's better to do that than to have to charge it halfway through and mess with the life force of the battery.
Meantime, I think we do have a few more questions here.
Let's get into them.
Let's see. Our friend Ked Surfna is asking, can you put a small bump on the future version to help prevent the machine and battery from rolling off the station?
So that's been solved, actually. That is actually on. So our new fully integrated battery powered wand machine has that solution. So stay tuned for that. So as always, it's our goal to educate you guys. Everything I give away is free. I want to be able to help you guys understand why you use your products, what they do, especially our products, why you use them, how they're made, what they do, how you can maximize your potential with the products, and of course get feedback. So if there's any episodes you guys want us to talk about, I think we have a couple of cool episodes coming up here.
Yes, we do.
That we'll be doing. So and again, we've shortened it to, what are we doing? Once a month?
Yes.
So we're doing these once a month. We're doing giveaways. So stay tuned for more episodes. And again, all your feedback is greatly appreciated.
Guys, thank you again for tuning in here with us on the special edition of Fridays with Franco. For those that missed out on the battery pack, there's a reason why we have our SMS list. So make sure you sign up, and the way to sign up for first access is text Bishop VIP to 29071 in the US, and in international it'll be +1 973 547 1071. So I say we get on with the rest of the weekend. We got some work to do, right?
Yeah, we got to go package up a bunch of these things and send them out. So, yes, thank you for tuning in. Stay tuned for more episodes. And again, battery packs is the future of tattooing. We will be on the cutting edge of these things. So rock with Bishop, and we will rock right back with you guys. So thanks for tuning in.
All right, you guys have a beautiful weekend out there. Thanks for tuning in. We look forward to seeing you guys on the next Fridays with Franco. Until then, if remember, nobody loves you. Bishop and Chuco's always got you. And we out.